Welcome to our channel, Globetrotters. Now we all know the world is a book, and those who don't travel only read one page, right? But here's the thing. Sometimes that book has some, let's call them plot twists, especially for black travelers. Today we're talking about 14 countries where you might just encounter a little more plot than you signed up for. So buckle up because things are about to get real. First up is Saudi Arabia, the land of oil money and, well, let's just say their human rights record can be a tad complicated. The country is known for its opulent wealth, towering skyscrapers, and vast deserts. But beneath the surface, there's a different story. Look, I'm not saying you'll be denied entry because of your skin color, but there's a system in place called kafala that can make life very interesting for foreign workers, especially those from Africa. This system essentially ties workers to their employers, making it difficult for them to change jobs or leave the country without permission. It ties their visa status to their employers, and let's just say it's ripe for exploitation. Many workers find themselves in precarious situations, unable to escape abusive conditions. There's also a social hierarchy to consider. This hierarchy often places foreign workers at the bottom, making it challenging for them to integrate into society. This can lead to prejudice against people of darker complexions, even within the Arab world. The social dynamics are complex and can be difficult to navigate for those not familiar with the cultural nuances. Next, we're hopping over to Japan, the land of sushi, bullet trains, and, well, a somewhat homogeneous society. Now, the Japanese are generally known for their politeness and respect, but there's a flip side to that coin. It's called uchi and soto, basically insider and outsider. And trust me, as a black traveler, you'll be in the soto group. This isn't necessarily malicious, but it can lead to awkward encounters, stares, and even being denied entry to certain establishments. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're heading to India, a country with more diversity than a Bollywood movie. And that's saying something. From the vibrant markets to the colorful festivals, every corner of India tells a different story. And just as much drama when it comes to social issues. The country is a hotbed of activism and social change, with people constantly fighting for their rights and justice. India has a long and complex history with colorism, deeply ingrained in their caste system. This system has shaped social dynamics for centuries, affecting millions of lives. Sadly, this translates to a preference for lighter skin, perpetuated by media and beauty standards. Skin lightening products are still widely advertised and used. Darker-skinned travelers might face discrimination, staring, and even prejudice. It's an unfortunate reality that visitors need to be aware of. You might encounter people trying to touch your hair or skin out of curiosity, which can be quite an experience. This curiosity stems from genuine interest but can feel invasive, which can be uncomfortable to say the least. Navigating personal space in crowded places can be challenging, and it's important to stay patient and understanding. But India is also a place of incredible beauty, spirituality, and warmth. From the serene landscapes to the welcoming locals, there's a lot to love and appreciate in this diverse country. From Bollywood, we're jumping to K-pop, the global phenomenon that has taken the world by storm with its infectious beats, stunning visuals, and meticulously choreographed performances. South Korea, the land of cutting-edge technology, catchy tunes, and a complicated relationship with race. It's a country where tradition meets modernity in fascinating ways. Much like their neighbors in Japan, South Korea is a largely homogeneous society. This homogeneity has shaped many aspects of their culture, including their beauty standards. And while they're obsessed with Western pop culture, that doesn't always translate to acceptance of actual Westerners, especially black ones. The fascination often stops at the surface level. Colorism is a real issue here, influenced by traditional beauty standards that equate pale skin with attractiveness. This preference is deeply rooted in history, and continues to affect societal norms. You might experience staring, backhanded compliments, and even discrimination based on your skin tone. These experiences can be jarring for those not accustomed to such scrutiny. It's not all doom and gloom though. There are positive experiences to be had, and many locals are curious and friendly. Younger generations exposed to more diverse cultures tend to be more open-minded. They are the hope for a more inclusive and accepting future in South Korea. Next stop, Lebanon. Known for its stunning coastline, delicious food, and a complex social fabric shaped by its history. Lebanon, like many Middle Eastern countries, has a system based on social hierarchy, and sadly, skin color plays a role. You might encounter people with preconceived notions about black people, influenced by historical factors and cultural biases. This can manifest as subtle discrimination, staring, or even offensive comments. It's important to remember that Lebanon is a place of resilience, having overcome its own share of struggles. Let's venture into China, the land of the Great Walled delicious dumplings, and a whole lot of people who haven't interacted much with people who don't look like them. Now, China's relationship with race is complicated, to say the least. On the one hand, they're obsessed with Western brands and luxury. On the other hand, there's a deep-seated cultural emphasis on conformity and a historical view of foreigners as outsiders. This can lead to some awkward encounters, staring, and even discrimination. But hey, China is also a place of incredible history, breathtaking landscapes, and delicious food. We're sailing over to Greece, the land of ancient ruins, beautiful beaches, and a somewhat complicated relationship with anyone who isn't, well, Greek. Now, Greece has a long and storied history, but it hasn't always been a welcoming place for everyone. They've had their fair share of economic struggles, and unfortunately, when times get tough, sometimes people look for someone to blame. This can manifest as hostility towards immigrants and, you guessed it, racial prejudice. But hey, Greece is also a place of incredible beauty, delicious food, and warm hospitality. Next stop, Russia, the land of vodka, borscht, and, let's just say their track record on race relations could use some work. Now, Russia has always been a bit of a mystery wrapped in an enigma, and their views on race are no different. There's a complex history there with a mix of nationalism, suspicion towards the West, and sadly, a fair bit of xenophobia. This can translate to prejudice, discrimination, and even verbal or physical harassment, especially towards black travelers. It's not all doom and gloom though. Russians can also be incredibly hospitable and welcoming. Get your pizza and pasta fix ready, because we're heading to Italy, the land of romance, art, and, sadly, some lingering stereotypes about black people. Now, Italians are known for their warmth, their passion, and their love of good food. But like many European countries, they've had their fair share of struggles with immigration and integration. This can sometimes translate to prejudice and discrimination, especially towards those who don't fit the traditional Italian image. But hey, Italy is also a place of incredible beauty, history, and culture. Let's journey to the land of pharaohs and pyramids, Egypt, a place with a history as rich and complex as its ancient monuments. While Egypt is considered the cradle of civilization, it's also a place where, unfortunately, colorism and prejudice can cast a shadow. Deeply rooted historical and social factors contribute to a complex system where lighter skin is often favored. This can lead to discrimination, particularly for black travelers from outside the Arab world. However, it's essential to remember that Egypt is also a land of incredible warmth, hospitality, and generosity. Next up is Morocco, a country where the Sahara Desert meets the bustling souks, a tapestry of culture and traditions. While Morocco is known for its vibrant energy and welcoming spirit, it's also a place where black travelers might encounter cultural complexities. Deeply ingrained historical factors and social hierarchies can lead to prejudice and discrimination. You might experience staring, hear offensive comments, or feel treated differently due to your skin color. It's important to remember that Morocco, like many nations, grapples with its own social complexities. Hold on to your hats, because we're heading to Turkey, a country straddling two continents, Europe and Asia, a melting pot of cultures and history. While Turkey is known for its stunning architecture, delicious cuisine, and warm hospitality, it's also a place where black travelers might encounter societal biases. Turkey's history is intertwined with its perception of race, and unfortunately colorism and prejudice can still be found. You might experience staring, hear offensive language, or encounter discrimination based on your skin tone. Remember, Turkey, like many nations, is on its own journey of progress. We're journeying to Ukraine, a country known for its resilience, strength, and rich cultural heritage. While Ukraine is admired for its beauty and spirit, it's also a place where black travelers might face challenges. Like many nations grappling with social complexities, Ukraine has its own history with race and prejudice. You might encounter discrimination, experience staring, or be subjected to offensive comments or behavior. It's important to remember that Ukraine, despite its challenges, is a nation of warmth and generosity. Last but not least, let's explore Argentina, the land of tango, breathtaking landscapes and a complex social fabric. While Argentina boasts a vibrant culture and passionate spirit, it's also a place where black travelers might encounter challenges. Argentina's history and social dynamics have contributed to a system where colorism and prejudice can exist. You might experience staring, hear offensive comments, or encounter discrimination based on your skin tone. However, it's essential to remember that Argentina is also a land of warmth and resilience. So, there you have it, folks. 14 countries where your experience might be a little different. Look, the world is an amazing, beautiful, and diverse place. But it's also important to go in with your eyes wide open, to be aware of the realities that exist, and to be prepared for anything. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more travel tips and important info. Safe travels!